done, the living entity can see the Lord face to face, and all his miseries are at once removed. So many times we have discussed this verse. Anyone remembers? That one can see the Lord face to face and all his miseries can be at once removed. And the illusion of covering is removed. Which verse is this? This is a verse from one of the Upanishads. Anyone remembers? It is quoted in Bhagavad Gita. Boli Darshan, you should remember we have covered this verse many times.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, little bit what I remember, it is like the verse is like this. Oh Lord, please remove the effulgence so that I can see you face to face, Prabhuji. Like
That is different. That is from the Isha Upanishad. Here it is saying, the Prabhupada is writing, that when the curtain of illusion is removed, what is the curtain of illusion? Similarly, the living entities who are molecular parts of the whole spirit are separated from the Lord by the artificial covering of Maya, the illusionary energy. This illusionary energy of the curtain of Maya has to be removed, and when it is so done, the living entity can see the Lord face to face, and all his miseries are at once. That is the mantra of Upanishad where he is saying that please remove this effulgence. Because of the effulgence, I cannot have your audience. That is from Isha Upanishad. This verse is quoted in Bhagavad Gita. No one remembers. Samane vikshe purusho nimagna anishiya sochati muhyamana jushtam yada pashyati anyam asya mahimana itavita shoka. Immediately all his miseries will be vanquished. Asya mahimana. When one comes to realize the glories of the Lord. So the residents of Dwarka, they have realized it and they are submitting that you please don't leave us. Don't give us this pain of separation. The illusionary energy or the curtain of Maya has to be removed, and when it is so done, the living entity can see the Lord face to face and all his miseries are at once removed. Every one of us wants to remove miseries of life. But we do not know how to do it. The solution is given here, and it rests on us to assimilate it or not. Prabhupada is saying, the solution is given here. But we have a choice, we have an option, whether to accept it or to reject it. Krishna gives everyone the free choice, what they want to do. Madhu Bhoja Dashraha Upura Andhaka Vrishni Atmatulya Baler Guptam Nager Bhogavatam Iva. As Bhogavati, the capital of Nagaloka, is protected by the Nagas, so was Dwarka protected by the descendants of Vishnu. The Bhojas, Madhus, Dashrahas, Arhas, Upuras, Andhakas, etc., who were as strong as Krishna. So these are the descendants. These are the descendants. The Bhojas, the Dashrahas, Andhakas, and also the others. The Naglok planet is situated above the Earth planet, and it is understood that the sun rays are hampered here. The darkness of the planet is, however, removed by the flashes of the jewels set on the heads of the Nagas, crystal serpents. And it is said that there are beautiful gardens, rivulets, etc., for the enjoyment of the Nagas. It is understood here also that the place is well protected by the inhabitants. So the city of Dwarka was well protected by the descendants of Vishnu. Krishna appeared in the Vishnu Vamsha. So these are the various descendants of Vishnu, who were as powerful as the Lord. How they became as powerful as the Lord? By the empowerment of the Lord. Don't take it otherwise. No one can be equal to Krishna. But Krishna empowers certain persons. So he empowered the descendants. Insofar, he manifested his strength upon this earth. Sarvaritu Sarva Vibhava Punya Vriksha Lata Ashrame Udyan Upavana Arame Vrita Padmakara Shriya. The city of Dwarkapuri was filled with the opulence of all seasons. This is the description of Dwarka. How was the grandeur and the opulence of city of Dwarka? Everywhere there was hermitages, orchards, flower gardens, parks and reservoirs of water, breeding lotus flower. Perfection of human civilization is made possible by utilizing the gifts of nature in their own way. As we find here in the description of the opulence, Dwarka was surrounded by flower gardens and fruit orchards, along with reservoir of water where lotuses grew. There is no mention of mills and factories supported by slaughterhouses. Prabhupada gives a hammer that there was no mention of mills and factories. What does it mean, industry and factories? What it conveys? As soon as there is mention of factories, mills and industries, in this places there is, yes, there should go.
Prabhuji, economic development.
Economic development is a farce. There is only Ugra Karma. Only Ugra Karma. So they will suffer in this life and in successive life. Because it is not required. Prabhupada mentioned this. There is no mention of mills and factories supported by slaughterhouses, which are the necessary paraphernalia of the modern metropolis. The propensity to utilize nature's own gift is still there, even in the heart of modern civilized man. The leaders of modern civilization select their own residential quarters in a place where there are such naturally beautiful gardens and reservoirs of water. But they leave the common man to reside in a congested area without parks and gardens. Herein, of course, we find a different description of the city of Dwarka. It is understood that the whole Dham or residential quarter was surrounded by such gardens and parks with reservoirs of water where lotuses grew. It is understood that all the people depended on nature's gift of fruits and flowers. Without industrial enterprise promoting filthy huts and slums for residential quarters. Advancement of civilization is estimated not on the growth of mills and factories to deteriorate the finer instincts of the human being, but on developing the potent spiritual instincts of human being and getting them a chance to go back to Godhead. Development of factories and mills is called Ugra Karma. Here comes it. Development of factories and mills is called the Ugra Karma, or pungent activity. And such activities deteriorate the finer sentiment of the human being and turn society into dungeon of humans. Why this factories and mills are called Ugra Karma? Why it is condemned by Srila Prabhupada? What is the basis behind which Srila Prabhupada is recommending not to be engaged in this useless activity of factories and mills? The answer, why? Why they are deciding to Simple question. You are all student of Vedic literature. Yes, Ramya? Unbelievable.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Prabhupada always emphasize on simple living and high thinking and farm community. So this is not farm according to that.
Simple living and high thinking. This is not.
The Ugra Karma are not favorable for simple living and high thinking.
Yeah. Why? What is the difficulty? What you said is correct.
On the mode of passion and ignorance.
Very good. It inflicts the mode of passion and ignorance, and it makes the person become faithless. The person becomes faithless. It inbuilds the atheistic propensity. And then the living entity will not submit and surrender to Krishna. He will remain a rebellious soul. So, it is very, very dangerous to engage in such activities. Okay. Prabhupada says, such activities deteriorate the finer sentiments of human being. What are the finer sentiments? Of submission, surrender, and service to Krishna. So that sentiment will never come up. And they turn society into dungeon of demons. So they all become asuras. No one becomes a deva. They all become asuras. We find herein the mention of pious trees, which produces seasonal flowers and fruits. The impious trees are useless jungles only. Those trees which cannot give flowers and fruit, they are useless jungles. And they can only be used to supply fuels. In the modern civilization, such impious trees are planted on the sides of the roads. This is what we see on the highways. They're all impious trees. No flower, no fruit comes out of them. Human energy should be properly utilized in developing the finer senses for spiritual understanding. This is what is the finer sensibility. Prabhupada is mentioning here. It should be properly utilized in developing the finer senses for spiritual understanding, in which lies the solution of life. Fruits, flowers, beautiful gardens, parks, and reservoirs of water, with ducks and swans playing in the midst of the lotus flowers, and cows giving sufficient milk and butter are essential for developing the finer tissues of the human. It's called the brain substance. As against this, the dungeon of mines, factories, and workshops develop demonic propensities in the working class. The vested interests flourish at the cost of working class, and consequently, there are severe clashes between them and so on. The description of Dwarka Dham is the ideal of human civilization. A further description is there. Gopuradvar margeshu krita kautuka toranam chitra dhvaja patakagre antar pratihata atapa. So how was the Dwarka city? Description is there. The city gateways, the household doors, and festooned arches along the road were all nicely decorated with festive signs like the plantain trees and mango leaves. Also to welcome the Lord, flags, garlands, and signs painted with slogans all combined to shade the sunshine. So in such a way that the both sides of the pathway was decorated nicely. Signs of decoration in special festivals were also collected from the gifts of nature, such as the plantain tree, the mango tree, fruit and flowers, mango trees, coconut palms, and plantain trees are still accepted as auspicious signs. The flagship mentioned above were all painted with the picture of either Garuda or Hanuman. the two great servitors of the Lord. By devoting such paintings and decorations are still adored. And thus the servitor of the master is paid more respect for the satisfaction of the Lord. Sammarjita Mahamarga Rathya Apanaka Chatvaram Siktam Gandha Taleruktam Phala Pushpa Akshata Ankure. The highways, subways, lanes, markets, and public meeting places were all thoroughly cleansed and when moistened with scented water. And to welcome the Lord, flower fruits, the unbroken seed was strewn everywhere. So this is how they welcome Krishna. Scented water prepared by distilling flowers like rose and kyoda are requisite to wet the road, streets, and lakes of Dwarka. Such was the opulence. Such places, along with the marketplace and public meeting place, were thoroughly cleansed. From the above description, it appears that the city of Dwarka Dham was considerably big, containing many highways, streets, and public meeting places, gardens, and reservoirs of water, all very nicely decorated with flowers and fruits. And to welcome the Lord, such flowers and fruits with unbroken seed of grain were also strewn over the public places. This is how the decorations were. Unbroken seed of grain of fruit in the seedling stage were considered auspicious, and they are still so used by the Hindus in general on festival days. Let's stop here. So we see how the Dwarka residents are welcoming, and particularly how they are feeling the pain. Although their pain is over now, as Krishna has arrived, but they are submitting to Krishna that wherever you live, whenever you go to meet your friends and your relatives, to Dwarka, from Dwarka to Mathura or Vrindavan or to Hastinapur, how it is impossible for them to tolerate the pain, and how they decorated the city to welcome Krishna. I'll stop here. Any question or any discussion? Manoram Babu, tomorrow we'll be having, you start first.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Anyone has any question? Or any discussion? I don't see any hand coming, so I'll stop here. And we'll continue tomorrow. First by presentation by Manoram Prabhu on the first chapter of the first canto. And then we will see if we have some time. Of course, we'll have time. It should not be more than 30 minutes, maximum 30 minutes. So please prepare about it. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, उपस्थित सभी भक्तजन की